The first area we'll be covering is the state of Nevada. According to the latest poll from 538 polling, we see Trump up here by 2 points. The Democrats won this back in 2020, and I would say it's definitely not fully out of reach for the Democrats, but at this time it is going to be a lean state. Going further down to Arizona. Arizona, currently we see the Republicans up by 8 points. Note that RFK is also in there with 5% of the vote. Yet RFK has not yet tried to get ballot access in the state of Arizona. So it is reasonable to think that this is definitely going to be similar to Nevada in saying it's going to be bordering the line of a likely to a lean state. New Mexico, we currently do not have any new polls regarding Harris, but showing Biden's performance in 2020 and the Democrats' performance in the state over the past several cycles, it's fair to say that we most likely see a likely win here for the Democrats in the state of New Mexico. Now, Texas. This may come as a shocker to a lot of you why I have this not already a solid red state. And I would put a solid red state, but we just don't have as much polling as I would like to see. We literally have no poll that pins Trump directly against Harris. We only have Biden v. Trump, and we already know who's going to win that matchup. So for this time, what we're going to label it likely, but in a future prediction on this channel, it's possible that Texas may shift over to become a solid red state. Next up, we have Georgia. Currently, Trump leads here by 4 points. So, we'll easily be able to put that as a likely state for the president. North Carolina, a lean state for the president. North Carolina, this is a state we really want to look at, because if there's any state on here that I believe that Harris can flip, it is probably going to be North Carolina. Currently, Trump leads by 3 points, but the thing with these polls is they don't tell you the trend, because I'm only talking about the most recent poll. Earlier, about a week ago, the polls were showing that Trump was up by 5 or 6 points, meaning that these polls are beginning to graduate more towards a purple side than the red side or blue side. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to label it as also a lean state, but it could have the opportunity to go towards a tilt state if it does end up to get a closer margin. Next up, we have Virginia. This is going to be very disappointing for Democrats, because currently the most recent poll from Florida Atlantic University shows Trump up by 4 points, with Harris taking 41%, Trump with 45%, and Kennedy taking 5%. Note also Kennedy does not have yet attempted to get ballot access in the state of Virginia. And a poll without Kennedy shows an even vote. So for now, we are going to go with Virginia being a tilt state just due to the historical shift over the past 4 cycles of it becoming more of a red state to a blue state. Now, Pennsylvania is going to be a shocker to me. According to the 2 most recent polls for Pennsylvania, we do see Harris up by 1 point and then even. Note that the even race does have Kennedy at 6%, but then also Kennedy, as well as in other states, has not yet got certified to be on the ballot for Pennsylvania. So if it stays that way, we could see potentially an upset from what it was looking like from the very start of the cycle that Pennsylvania may go blue. So, at this point, I wouldn't say it's probably enough evidence to fully flip it, but if we do see Shapiro end up being Harris's VP, it's very likely that very possible that the Democrats could win the state of Pennsylvania. For now, I'm going to give them a tilt rating just because of the most recent 2 polls, but obviously that could change, similar to Texas becoming a safe state. It really just is a weird timing currently in the polls right now. The state of New Hampshire, Biden won this by 7 points. Harris won this by over 10 points last cycle. Harris is currently leading by 7 points, so it's pretty safe to say that we will see Harris win the state of New Hampshire, so we will give New Hampshire a likely rating for the Democrats. Maine's 2nd congressional district is next up on the list, and honestly, we don't have much polling data from this congressional district. But it has tended to lean more Republican, so we will give it a likely rating. And then for the Maine statewide competition, we will see most likely a lean towards the Democrats for their 2 electoral votes for statewide. Michigan. Currently, the polls are saying that Trump is ahead by 2 points, which currently is the largest gap in between candidates in the entire Rust Belt. So the Republicans will take, with a lean margin, will take the state of Michigan. We're not entirely sure if this is going to stay the same here on the team, so we will keep monitoring Michigan. But as you can see, that pushes the Republicans over the 270 mark, and currently we are projecting that the Republicans will win the presidency. Currently, we don't have any new polls in Minnesota regarding Harris and Trump, but based on Biden's performance, we are going to mark it a likely Democratic state. Last, we have Wisconsin. Unfortunately, at this time, I missed 2nd Nebraska. Thank you. 2nd District of Nebraska, with no polls there. We are going to give it a lean Democrat rating because we don't have much polls, and it's looking like it's getting closer compared to the statewide vote. So we are going to give it a lean rating in the 2nd District here in Nebraska. And finally, we have Wisconsin. Currently, the polls are showing a deadlocked tie for 2 consecutive polls. Now, this could be, honestly, this could be a big deal if it comes down to, if the Democrats win Michigan, it's all going to come down to Wisconsin. Because if we were to have the Democrats win Michigan, then we have a chance for the Democrats to come in, win Wisconsin, and this is going to be one of the most narrowest elections in American history if this were to play out like this. And it's honestly not entirely impossible for this to play out as well. Trump, though, if he is able to continue the trend and flip the 2nd District in Nebraska, we have one of the most historical events in the Electoral College, an Electoral College tie. Now, this is just absurd if this happens, because that means that the senators in D.C. are going to have to vote on who they want president. Each state's going to get 1 vote, and based on that prediction, we're seeing, if we were to count all the states, it would be about 27 to 23 states, which means even in the event of a tie, it is probable that Trump will win the election. But I digress. We are going to reset the map to what it was before, and we're going to leave Wisconsin as a toss-up. So, after this prediction, we see Harris being defeated by Donald Trump, 283 to 245. Thank you for watching the first video, and I'll see you in the next one.